Dear beloved educators, you have been doing amazing job during the hardest of the pandemic to prevent academic disruption to students. Throughout your journey, you utilize Microsoft Teams, OneNote, Flipgrid, and Minecraft. Now is the time to join our prestigious program by Microsoft, which is Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert. It is a great reward for your hard work throughout the whole academic year. Let's get started to learn more how we can apply to this program. When searching for the Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert program, you will be directed toward this page. Here you will find a lot of information about the program with a step-by-step guidance on how you can apply for this program. Now you will get started by clicking on this link and let's see how we can proceed. This is the main step where you can register. You should start from scratch. Even if you were a MIEE expert, you have to do this step whenever you start your nomination. So make sure you click one of those options. Now pay attention. If you are utilizing a personal account on Hotmail, Outlook, or Live, then you have to click Microsoft account. If you are utilizing your Office 365 account that is provided by the school, you have to click on this option. Now, let's say that you have another account on Yahoo or whatever the platform is, you will start on this page and or on this part of the page where you will enter your email, you will enter your password, and then you will receive a verification code on your email. You have to enter it over here and then create your password and confirm it. Then you will be directed toward this page where you can continue with the nomination. On this page, we have to select Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert Program and click on Save and Submit. Self-professional development is critical. That's why you can go to education.microsoft.com and get a lot of resources on how to deal with this pandemic and how to teach during the hybrid learning. After you collected badges and certification, go to your profile and select My Profile and go to view transcript so that you will download the transcript of all the courses and badges that you received. Now this is a PDF, so make sure that you save it on your desktop and then you can upload it later on. We reach to the first part of the scored question. The first question is how many courses and learning paths have you done on the Microsoft Educator Center? So here you have to put just numbers. Now, after we downloaded the transcript, you have to upload it to the OneDrive and click on Share. Once you click on Share, make sure that the setting is everyone can see your transcript so that the judge will be able to prove the number of courses that you input over here. The second part of the question is asking you how often you utilized Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Forms, OneNote, Class Notebook or Staff Notebook, even how often you utilized Flipgrid with your students or learners, and as well the Minecraft Education Edition. Here I would like to invite everyone to be transparent while filling out these questions, because we are not judging you whether you are utilizing it daily, weekly, monthly, or rarely. However, we need to see where are you, where is your status, and to see whether we can support in any way. And make sure that whenever you included any of those as daily, weekly, or monthly, make sure that while you are answering the long answer question, to provide a lot of evidence of learning for utilizing these products. To boost the student 21st century skills, we urge teachers to start introducing coding in their classroom, and the best way to do this is by going to Make Code website and checking how they can do applications using microbit or apps using Arcade or even playing Minecraft and utilizing the coding part of it. On the other side, STEM is crucial in our century. So as you know, Microsoft have provided a lot of project in cooperation with a lot of partners like BBC, where you can benefit from variety of inputs about STEM project. So make sure you go through those projects and you can start introducing them to your student to prepare them for the future needs. On the other side, and as you can see, artificial intelligence is taking a vital role in Office 365 products, where you can start seeing a lot of presenter coach, where you see a lot of subtitles and all those elements that will help you in getting all students on the same page and bridging the gaps of any need in your classroom. So make sure that you know these products well and that you can start utilizing it with your student for their benefit. Another crucial component is the new Microsoft Edge browser, which has a lot of accessibility tools as well, where you have read aloud, where you have the translation part, and also if you have any PDF as a teacher, you can start inking on it so that you can better explain the concepts for the student. Make sure you start discovering these components and putting a lot of them into your classroom for a better teaching and learning. Throughout the application, you will find some questions that are like a quiz for you as educator. We just need you to make sure that you know all the information, because at the end of the day, you will be entitled a very prestigious title, which is Innovative Expert. So make sure that you go through all the courses on the Microsoft Education Center and you answer the quizzes. Apart from that, we have the last section that has to do with describing your way of dealing with the student and how you are embedding technology, specifically Microsoft tools in your classroom. And these are the long answered questions. We will speak about them in details. The first question is for the returned MIEE expert who already have the title from previous years. And here we are asking you whether you have contributed to your community. And I'm sure that a lot of you have done that. So anything like even teaching your colleague a new feature or being on stage with a lot of educators and telling them about your experience in embedding technology into education and specifically Microsoft tools. So all those are great examples on this part of the question. Now here, don't forget to utilize EduTrack and Microsoft.com so that whenever you do a training or a session, you input that training and you give codes for your student or teachers so that they will achieve some points on the Microsoft Education community. Including all students in your classroom is vital for your teaching, for the success of your teaching. And here we will be asking you, how did you incorporate the technology of Microsoft within your classroom to bridge the need of the student? I will start with the most common and famous part, which is the Immersive Reader that is found everywhere in OneNote, and also in Forms and PowerPoint and abroad all other platforms of Microsoft. So throughout the Immersive Reader, your student will be able to learn new words, to translate the words if they are not able to understand them, and also it will read for them aloud so that they will really know the pronunciation of the words and they will understand more and will gain more literacy skills. So don't forget to introduce this special tool for your students and even for learners that are colleagues in your team. it will help them a lot in their journey. If you are a math teacher, we have a nice application as well in OneNote where you are writing the equation, selecting it, and clicking on something called math. And from here, what we can get is that the OneNote will be able to solve the problem step by step, and also will have the immersive reader to read aloud for the student each and every step, and also you will be able to translate it. On top of that, we have something called generate practice quiz where you will be able to have more questions supported by the artificial intelligence that is related to this concept that you are teaching in math. Don't hesitate to teach this method for your student. It will help them a lot in anything that has to do with numeracy knowledge and skills. Another assistive tool in math specifically, it's called a math solver. It's an application that you can download on your mobile phone where you can scan any equation from a paper, from a book, and it will be able to solve that question for you. And as well, you can have a lot of practices within that. So these are two tools that are very beneficial for your student, and I know a lot of students might struggle from solving math problems. So let's utilize this application in order to support them in their learning journey. Another need is the dictate, where a lot of students might be struggling in knowing how we spell certain words. So from here, we have a special tool in Word, PowerPoint, Outlook. It's called Dictate, where you will click on it, you will select the language, and you will start speaking. It will change all your word into text. This is very beneficial for students that are in elementary classes that are still learning how to spell. It's very nice to see that the word that they are spelling, it's written in front of them. This way we are using two styles of learning. The student is listening and he is seeing or visualizing the words. So this will support them a lot in their improving of the literacy skills in their learning journey. Translation. This is very important in our daily lives. We know one language, maybe we are striving to learn more, and we are in a environment that speak different languages, international languages. So we need to understand, or we need to grasp what others are trying to communicate with us, specifically through writing. And here we will go to Microsoft Word. This is also supported in PowerPoint as well. But in Word, we have something special where the whole document will be translated for you. So as you can see over here, we will go to review, we will select translate, and this time translate document. We will select the language that we want to translate to, and around 60 languages are supported in this tool. So what you will get is a replica of the document but translated to your own language. And here it's supported by the artificial intelligence of Microsoft that is looking into lines and context. So it's not only translating word by word, it's also looking at the whole meaning and giving to you the best translation ever. I can say the accuracy here is from 85 to 95%. Nothing is 100%. You can reread and check for other meanings, but it is very accurate application and tool, and will support you also in your journey to learn more. Since we mentioned different learning styles, this is another tool which is called the Transcribe in Microsoft Teams meeting. Here, imagine that you are a teacher and you have a student that are not grasping your maybe tone, maybe your pronunciation. So by utilizing Transcript in Microsoft Teams, your words as a teacher will be transcribed. So the student will be hearing you and seeing whatever you are saying. And in this way also, rather than spending a lot of time taking notes, they will be focusing with you the whole period, and the notes will be taken on their behalf using Transcribe. So they can go back to it. And the beauty here is that it is written by name. So let's say that your friend, for example, as a student, ask a very important question that me as a student, I'm shy to ask it for the teacher. So whenever the session is over, I can go back to the transcribe, I can go back to the name of that student, and it will help me to easily find the question that was asked and how the teacher answered. It has a lot of support and bridging student needs within this application or within this tool. Transcribe is also found in Word and is under Dictate, where you can upload an audio and it will be transcribed for you, or even you can start recording and you have the conversation and all your conversation will be transcribed for you. This is also beneficial whenever you are asking students to conduct interview so that they will learn from each other. This tool will help them to have everything written so that they can write their evidence of learning in a much easier way, and it will support their learning as well. Another interesting component here is the together mode, where you will be able to see all your students in a virtual setting like a classroom or any setting that you select, maybe museum or whatever you have in mind. Now you will ask me how this will help in bridging student needs. If you encourage them to open the camera and to have it in this setting, you will be able to read their like features, face features. You will see who is understanding, who is grasping. You will be able to detect their emotions as well, and you will be able to better support them in their learning journey. Those were a lot of like examples for accessibility tools. Now we will go deep dive into question number 3, where it's asking you to prepare a project or to tell us about a project you did with your learners. And here learners could be student or could be your colleagues in the work, where you have incorporated Microsoft technologies to improve learning outcomes. And you have to tell us what are the 21st century skills that were included in this like learning pathway, and explain in details how those skills were developed. So here, first of all, we have to like select the objective from your subject, or as we mentioned, if you are dealing with teachers, from your like professional development needs that you are working on. Then you have to define the 21st century skills that you are improving, and you have to align the Microsoft technologies that are utilized in this project. When we speak about objectives, it should be SMART. What does it mean? First of all, it should be specific. So for example, when we speak about a science teacher, I need my student to classify the different, like the 5 different parts of the plant. So I'm specifying only 5 different parts. It should be measurable. So I'm saying that by the end of this like lesson, they will be able to classify them if they saw it in nature, if they saw it in a diagram, in a book. So this is measurable. Achievable. I cannot put high goals for my student. It should be really achievable and chunked down. Realistic. Also, we cannot give, like for example, my student will be able to know all different part of the plant. No, it should be very realistic, and for sure, it should be within a time frame. For example, by the end of this month, my student will be able to write for me a paragraph about like the different types of bullying and how to differentiate between a bully and a friend and so on. So try to make it specific, try to have it measurable, achievable, realistic, and also bound with a time frame. The second part of the question talks about the 21st century skills. And here we have three different categories. We have the foundational one, which is what you are trying to take care of during your subjects as a teacher, like in English, math, science, ICT teacher, or other kind of subjects. So these are the foundations that everyone would like our student to have. Now, on the other side, we have another part of skills, which we call it the competencies, and we know them by the 5 C's, which are critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration. So these are very critical and will help students to be competent in the future. On the other side, we have a lot of character qualities that should be part of our nurturing the 21st century skills. Here we are speaking about curiosity, being initiative student or learner, and supporting this initiative. So any student who is trying to do any project, don't tell them that you are still small. No, push them, support them, mentor them, coach them until they reach to their dreams or to their goals. So this is very important to start nurturing those qualities in our student. On the other side, let us help them to be persistent. If they are falling apart, if they are like failing to answer a certain question, we as teachers shouldn't go directly and give them answers. We need them to research. We need them to spend more time on experiments. We need them to spend more time on trial and error, because in this way they will learn. But if we give them directly the answers, it will be tough for them. Adaptability. And I think we are in a big quiz or exam for adaptability when COVID hit our nation. So here this is very crucial to see whether your students are adapting to the technology. And I felt that students were more ready for adapting technology than us as teachers and educators. They were eager to have the teacher telling them use your mobile phone to do our lesson. They were eager for their teachers to tell them go to your laptop and do the exam, because actually they are spending most of their time in technology, but they weren't utilizing it in their everyday at the classroom. So I think adaptability is a crucial here, and they are very ready for this part of the character trait. Let us push it and let us nurture it more and more. Leadership. Let us always uh, let let us always get the leader out of our student by giving them for example, lead a group, by giving them lead a project, do the presentation, and so on. This group working and the roles that we are distributing in any group work will nurture the leadership in every student. Social and cultural awareness. We should teach our students more how to feel empathy for others, how to have a better communication with others, how to have better collaboration with others. A lot of Microsoft programs will do a lot of support on these parts of the 21st century skills. So let's get started. In this question, you have to pick these kind of 21st century skills and to see or to tell us how did you nurture it with your student. A great support here as well on the 21st century skills is the course which is called 21st Century Skills by Microsoft, which will prepare you to sit for the exam like a Microsoft Certified Educator. And here you have a lot of examples on how to nurture collaboration, knowledge construction, problem solving, self-regulation, and the use of ICT. And when we say the use of ICT, let your student be active, by being part of this ICT work or project, not passive by looking at you and seeing you utilizing the technology without their interference. So let's work all to have an active users of ICT in our classroom, either with our student or also with our colleagues if we are dealing with professional development. You can say that question number 3, 4, and 5 are connected. So first of all, we selected the objective, we selected the skills, and we selected the technologies. Now in question number 4, we have to provide a link that proves that we are really utilizing these technologies in an efficient way. And the best platform, now you are free to utilize any platform for showing your artifact, but the best one from my side is Sway because it will allow you to put whatever example that you have. It could be evidence like a picture, like a video, like audio, or even PowerPoint that the student have. And also it will give you a space, enough space to embed as much as you want evidence. And the last question, which is number 5, now here where you have to demonstrate how that desired learning objective were attained by utilizing Microsoft tools. Now, to help you on these questions, I will go through step by step how I think from my own perspective we have to answer this question. So for me, I started by like pinpointing the skills that I need to nurture with my student in this example communication. So how can I utilize Microsoft product to boost this skill? So here we have two different scenarios. The first one could be by creating a channel, a private channel in Microsoft Team and putting student in a group work where they can learn and collaborate with each other. Now, in this kind of style or strategy, if you want to call it, student will be able to learn from each other. So here we are also doing something like knowledge construction. So they are building on each other knowledge so that they will take a better picture. And another method over here, which is the breakout rooms, where also we can put students into rooms where they can discuss together in a critical way, any topic, any question that we are giving. And in this way, it's also nurturing their way of communication. They will learn how to listen well to their colleague while doing this kind of communication. They will learn a lot of new words by this kind of communication, and they will be able also to start practicing to speak aloud in a small group, and then this will help them to go beyond and to be able to present widely. Now also in the communication, don't forget to use like presenter coach, where it will also boost the student communication skills by giving them hints whether they are doing a good job in the way that they are rehearsing for their presentation. For collaboration, for example, here we have the sharing of the document, whether it is Word, PowerPoint, Excel, or even OneNote. And in this way, as you can see, student will be able to write at the same time, each one from his own pace and space, and they all work collaboratively on the document. Now you will say how the teacher will be able to see who is really participating in a teamwork. And a lot of teachers will say, we are reluctant to use the teamwork strategy because one student will be doing the job and the others will be listening. Don't hesitate, because really they will be learning from each other. And on the other side, we have something very important in all the application, which is called version history. You can go and track who is doing what in each and every project. So you can go to version history of Word and see who is writing on the document. So whether you assign a role for each of them in the group or not, you will be able to see whether they were really playing that role that you assigned. Don't hesitate to do collaboration, because this is what they will be doing in the real future work or workplace. Critical thinking. and problem solving. Those two components should be part of your objectives, should be part of your lesson and the subject that you are teaching, whether you are teaching literature or whether you are teaching scientific like a subject. All subjects will have the same thing, which is getting the second layer of Bloom taxonomy. So we don't need them to memorize, we don't need them to repeat. We need them to start critically thinking about each and every problem around us. So here I selected Flipgrid because in Flipgrid, for example, as a teacher of English, I will tell them, for example, tell me why you think we should go to a blended learning. So in this way, they are thinking in a critical way the cons and the positive of that idea. They are sharing it. You can open the Flipgrid for your students so that they can reflect on each other. And in this way, they are really learning from each other and they are building their knowledge based on what they are listening and what their colleagues are saying. So Flipgrid will help you in this scenario, and a lot of the other tools that we discussed previously, like Make Code, like Hacking STEM, and other products that has to do with programming. For creativity, also, we have a lot of tools, but what comes always on my mind is Minecraft, because you can simply give them a word, an empty word, and tell them to create, for example, how they can solve a problem that they are facing in everyday life, or for example, replicate a building that they saw in their neighborhood, for example, extend your question by telling them from your own perspective how that building could be enhanced. What are the things that you find like failing in this design? So a lot of things you can do with Minecraft in terms of creativity, and you can build a lot of projects. Just go to Minecraft website and get started with all the examples that we have over there for each and every subject. So for question number 5, whatever we discussed up, so in question number 4, you are putting the evidence, but in question number 5, you are putting your description or your reflection about how this all project or artifact worked and what were the outcomes. You were you were pleased by the outcomes and how Microsoft tools were critical for having your student gain that objective and gain that skill. Now here also we can speak about results. We can speak about how you are utilizing as well OneNote, and how, for example, before utilizing all these projects like Minecraft, Flipgrid, the coding, and giving broader idea for the student, taking them out of the box, how the writing were before and how it progressed by time by utilizing these tools. So here you have to describe more about how these desired objectives were attained and what was the part that Microsoft tools played in helping you in your journey as a teacher. So in this question, which is the last one, here they are checking how you have supported your learning and the learning of others. So a great example over here, it's not the only example, but it is one of the strong ones, is to tell us how you went beyond the Microsoft Education Center and you sit for an exam about the 21st century skills, and you attained your Microsoft Certified Educator certification. So this is one of the examples that you can utilize. On the other side, you can speak about any activities that you are running in your school that is supporting your students and colleagues in the school, like trainings, or maybe you are running, for example, Hour of Code, or you did a virtual trip, so that your student will gain a more they will connect to real world. They will see how the subjects that they are learning, or how the objectives and the standards that you are teaching them is directly connected to the problems of real world. So these are some of the examples that you can utilize and that you can speak about in this question. And finally, I would like to speak about the discovery in Flipgrid. Some of our teachers are still not aware of it. We have a lot of resources that is available for you for free, and that is connected to the real world. You can browse by subject, you can browse by trending topics, or even you can go beyond and check what partners have put in Flipgrid. And here I would like to share with you one of the very nice topics, which is about like a museum. You can see also we have a day of data with NASA. So one example is the National World War II Museum, where we have a lot of resources that is connected to the history. And this is crucial for teachers that are teaching social studies. So instead of telling their student to memorize or to read a lot, so they can simply share with them some stories like this one over here, where they can also connect using like a Teams call and do a one-to-one interview or question with the persons that are in charge of something like these virtual trips. At the end, I would like to wish you a best of luck on your journey towards attaining your Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert title. And I would tell you that it's very easy. You already utilize most of the products, so just put them into the application and nominate yourself today.